Mick Flynn writes, what actors and actresses have played the most believable siblings in a movie, and why is that so hard to pull off?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Okay, this is a fresh off the boat kind of answer, but Gone Girl, Ben Affleck, and I'm forgetting the girl's name.
His sister.
Yeah, the girl who plays his sister.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't about looks, although the looks I could see a little bit. The way their mannerisms synced with each other was crazy. We just had Skeleton Key.
Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig,
yes,
you're right, yeah.
Which I thought worked pretty darn well. Other siblings, well, you got to talk about Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and fantastic. No, you don't.
No. Home Alone kids.
Home Alone kids. Boy, it's hard to think about really good on-screen sibling
Johnny,
things.
if I may.
Yes, please.
Look at your hoodie.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Luke and Leah?
Yeah, I mean, look, they made out one scene, I'm from the South. That's totally cool, okay? But by the end of Return of the Jedi, when they're talking to each other, they actually, they have a really cool sibling dynamic.
Yeah.
With no context, I want to make a shirt for you. With no context, a graph that just says, it's from the South, it's okay. I'm from the South, it's okay. It's totally cool.
Look, I went to prom with my cousin. Nothing happened.
Yikes.
Okay, what's next?
Zach writes, have you guys heard anything about the next Narnia movie? Is it still happening?
You know, it's funny, we do get questions sent in every once in a while about Narnia. The first Narnia, to me, I thought succeeded. I mean, it was one of those films where, look, you got to capture imagination. We talked about the Cinderella trailer yesterday, right? That you got to make me feel the magic. And the first Narnia film for me did that. I was just sitting back. I was having a movie experience, you know? I really enjoyed it. The next two were awful. Like, just awful.
Yeah.
Not Catwoman bad, but close. Maybe Cat bad. I mean, it was just, it was halfway there, just dreadful. And they made less and less and less, right? So, and then I heard that another studio's, well, Disney then did come along and picked up for the third one, and that kind of bombed. Or was it Disney started it?
Disney started it, and then Fox picked it up
Fox
for
picked it
two.
up for, yeah.
Fox picked up number two.
And then that didn't really work. And then I heard rumblings about, and some stuff about making another one. But I think it's dead in the water. I could be wrong. Have you guys heard anything different?
You know what I think you do? I think you reboot that animated. I think that's going to work more because it just kept getting more and more kiddie friendly, right? As the movies went on, and it started to lose its luster a little bit. If you reboot it animated, I think it'll do better.
Well, I actually think I did hear something a little while back that I think another studio was doing the fourth one, and I think that they were still planning on going forth with it. I'm not sure.
In the same continuity, or they're restarting?
I think it's in the same continuity, going with the fourth book.
Interesting.
But what I actually liked the second one. I know maybe I'm that person, but the first one, the second one, I thought played into the imagination, like you were saying. The third one, the problem was not even necessarily with the movies, but with the books in general, is that you lose the main characters that you've been following from the first two, and it was harder to do, and they added new characters we didn't like or care about. And in the fourth one, if they do that, they've got to introduce a brand new kind of storytelling and get us back into that fantastical world that they created in the first and even second one.
All right, what's next?
CC writes, what are your thoughts on a live-action Futurama movie and Ryan Reynolds as Fry? Bring on the filthy.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it.
A live-action Futurama movie?
Nah.
No.
And I like Futurama.
Yeah.
But
It turns into Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Every time Futurama comes on for like 5 seconds, I'm like, ah, sweet, The Simpsons. Ah, no, it's Futurama. Yeah,
Although my favorite part, my favorite episodes of Futurama have always been the one with their Captain Kirk wannabe character.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting the character's name and his little alien sidekick dude.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I actually do appreciate the show for what it is. It brings a lot of inventive humor, but live action, I just don't know why you would want to take that leap with a show like that. They could create a neat, fantastical looking world, I suppose, but I don't know that the humor would translate. It's a lot easier to get away with some of that humor in an animated world versus live action.
Yeah, it's in the right medium right now. I'd leave it there. Okay, what's next?
Jimmy Conway writes, can DVD sales help the consideration for a movie's sequel?
Not really. There was an era when that was the case, where you could have, like, for instance, the first Crank, right? The first Crank movie with Jason Statham, it did all right. It was a really low-budget film. Did okay, but word about it got out after the fact about it's crazy, it's mayhem, it's all this kind of stuff, and a lot of people picked it up in DVD, but that's going back, what, 8 years now? Yeah. 8, 9 years ago? DVD sales have done this. Home physical media sales and stuff like that have totally ditched. And I was talking to a guy. I won't say which studio. I was talking to a guy on set of a movie once, and this topic actually came up because somebody else kind of asked a similar question. The studio guy came. It can be, you know, if you got 50 tons on this end of the scale and 50 tons on this end of the scale, the DVD consideration could be a feather that drops on one or the other, maybe tilts it, but in practicality's sake, it's not really that big of a consideration anymore. That's what they told me at any rate. So I don't know, your guys' thoughts on it.
Well, it did work for Family Guy, which is not a movie, but it's a TV show.
Right.
And Longmire just got picked up. Yeah, Longmire just got picked up on Netflix.
Oh, wow. Breaking news.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. But I mean, also, I think that if it didn't work and this might have been for artistic reasons too, is that Office Space and Big Lebowski both did okay in the theater, and then they really crushed on home media. I don't know that would happen today simply because of what John brought up, is that so many people just stream movies. Now, if you can, you can measure that too. So if something comes out and it really does well, if it just crushes on Netflix, I could see that happening. Not in a big budget kind of world, but a smaller independent film, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I think that it does help, because I think that what Netflix has done for television shows, and what Amazon and Netflix will start doing, they're going to start doing for movies eventually too. And like we were just saying, with whether it be Family Guy or Longmire or whatever it is, when the fans have a voice, look what they're doing for Dredd right now. The fans want to see a second Dredd. Will that happen? We don't know. But there's a lot. I mean, with a movie
they're doing a web series now for it,
doing a web series.
Yeah, and I think that's where home video can influence. I think it can influence you getting a mega low budget straight to home video type of sequel. I just don't know about another larger budget.
Look at Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass was a movie that didn't do that. It did okay in the theater.
It was profitable though, marginally, but profitable.
It didn't do what they hoped it would in the theater though. But it really started to have a little bit more of a life on DVD and Blu-ray, and the fans' voice kind of called out more for that. So it helps. It just doesn't. It's better to do better in the theater.
I think that's the word. It helps.
It helps.
But it's not like the deciding factor that it could have been, like a movie generation ago, like 5, 6, or 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. All right, one last question today.
Coco writes, which Chris will have the best movie career? Pratt, Evans, Pine, or Hemsworth? I feel like I already know John's
Sorry,
answer.
can you say that again a little bit louder, Ashley?
Which Chris will have the best movie career? Pratt, Evans, Pine, or Hemsworth? I feel like I already know John's answer.
I don't.
I think I got my.
Okay, the hot answer right now is Pratt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hot answer, but Pratt has hit the big time now. He's the recognized, maybe the hottest star in the world right now. But we haven't seen him with the belt around his waist yet, We've seen, okay, he's got the belt. Now let's see what he does with it. Right. We called 2014 the year of the Pratt, and probably 2015. We're going to call this the era of the Pratt, 2014, 2015. But we haven't had a sample size of him big enough yet to see, can he be more than Star-Lord? Because remember, they asked him to put himself in Star-Lord, right? So let's see what he's able to do beyond that. So I'm not ready to proclaim Pratt. I know the hottest, using sports analogies, the hottest prospect out of that bunch has always been Hemsworth. They have been, like talent scouts and everything, have been watching Hemsworth for years and years as a can't-miss guy. Like this guy, they've pegged him, he's going to be a big star for a long time, and then he finally got that little chance in Star Trek, and then he landed Thor, and now we're going to see him in Black Hat, which I think looks really good. I'm excited for Black Hat. And that one Moby Dick movie.
Yeah, with Ron Howard.
Yeah. I mean, that, anyway, so if I had to give an answer right now, ask me again in a year and a half, if I had to give an answer right now, I'll say Hemsworth.
I'm back and forth with Hemsworth and Evans, and Pratt. Like everything you said, let's see what he does in 2015. He's awesome. I'm a big fan of his. The reason why I'm going back and forth is because of Snowpiercer, because that's a new side of Chris Evans that we haven't seen, that dark kind of brooding side. He's got a lot of chops, but I'm still going to go Hemsworth, because Hemsworth is a dude who that's movie star. And it's not a movie star with, and if you're going to go off what Birdman, if you've seen Birdman, it's not just the Hollywood movie star. It's a movie star with acting chops, someone that, again, you can't take your eyes off of. Even though it was Daniel Bruhl's really movie in Rush, you can't deny what Hemsworth did.
He was so good in Rush.
And he's got that Brad Pitt thing to where dudes, even though you want to be jealous of him, you can't, because he's so damn cool.
Yeah, I'm going Christopherson. No, I think
Awesome.
I'm going Chris Pratt, and I'll tell you guys why. Because he has the most charisma on screen. Like what you said, he had to inject himself into Star-Lord, but himself is a lot of charisma and a lot of persona.
Sure is,
that
yeah.
I don't think that Hemsworth and Pine and Evans, they're fantastic. I don't think that they can quite get to that level. That's not a level that just any actor can get to. And he was great in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he's going to crush it in the one that we talked about yesterday, the ninja
Jurassic
alien
World.
space
Cowboy ninja Viking.
Maurice. Yeah, and he's in the Jurassic Park movie too.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Pratt over the long run.
All right.
We should bet on this.
I know.
We should.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.